Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
RoadToRuta.com. Very interesting times. I got just a little bit of time today. So very busy on fulfilling all the new subscribers coming in because we're giving away a Very token, one Very token, the coveted Veritasium token, loaded on a paper wallet for 1 year subscription at RoadToRuta.com. Go check it out, RoadToRuta.com. Click on subscribe today. You'll get more info. Okay, silver. Here we go again. We're going at the 100-day moving average. Everybody should know this by now. 100-day moving average. Oh, by the way, the India numbers are in. I forgot one thing, and I'll tell you about that in a second. We are coming up to, the riggers are going to try to hold $29.97. And as we look now, it's at 30. Wait, am I right? No. Sorry. $30.81. The $29.97 is the 200-day moving average. We've already breached that. Remember, everything in here is India buying. Anything below the 100-day, especially the 200-day. India buying massive amounts. As a matter of fact, December was, drumroll please, the number one December in a very long time at $421 million of silver inputs into India. Now, I thought it would be more because the end of December had some, when it fell down below the moving averages, that was the end of December. But let me show you something. It came in at, 14.5 million ounces for December. I thought it was going to be about 30 to 50. And I think it was. I think that's what was bought. Remember, and this is what I forgot. There's a time delay from the time that the silver traders and brokers say, holy shit, they're below the moving averages again. We got to load up. So this started really on December 16th and 17th below the 100-day, and then it wasn't until the end of December that it really got down way under the 200-day. There's a time delay depending on where you bought the silver, where this broker, trader, Indian purchasers bought their silver between the time it is purchased at LBMA or Hong Kong. That's where they're buying right now. They're not even messing with the comics anymore because it's a pure fraud game. Although they had 45 million ounces delivered, supposedly. It takes 1 to 2 weeks. Let's say 1 to 3 weeks. But remember, the end of December, we had New Year's and Christmas in the middle of the week. So Wednesday and a Wednesday. So everything is going to slow down. I think we're going to see that 30 to 50 million ounces in January of this year. My guess would be on the 50 million side. Excuse me, 50 million side. So we didn't finish as strong in December for 2024 as I wanted, but it really all the action happened at the end of the month. So those numbers won't come into January, but still the total numbers now, give or take 5 million ounces, give or take 10 million ounces. I mean, if you're Metals Focus and the Silver Institute, they had their numbers all screwed up halfway through and had to change everything. They had it over 300 million ounces by now. It's not, I don't think. It's around 280 million ounces of silver imported into India. This is the second largest in history. 2023, I think it was. Let's take a look here. 2022, it was 304 million ounces. This is from ChatGPT. What kind of imports of silver have gone into India? Really big one in 2015. A lot of excitement back then. We thought we were going to break free of the manipulation, but it was actually JP Morgan rigging the markets and playing their games. So you're looking at 243 in 2015. The next highest was 228 million in 2018. And then we jumped massively from 89 to 304. Now, this could be part due to COVID. But for the last 5 years, we have been a silver deficit. I would argue it's probably the last 10 years because the Silver Institute is lying in their numbers. That's what everybody uses to calculate it. They are lying 100%. But, I mean, right now, I think the word is it's been 4 years of silver deficits, according to the Silver Institute. Another year now. So during a year of silver deficits, last year we did almost 112 million ounces into India. This year, I'm telling you, it's going to be around 280 to 290 million ounces of India imports. That almost hits the all-time record. That is in a massive deficit. We're going to hear the Silver Institute explain it away somehow. And we also went up 35% in, is it 32 or 35% in solar installations with TopCon, which uses it's about 50% more silver in it. So we should see 400 to 450 million ounces just going into solar installations. Now, here's the deal. I said this last year when I was tracking, the number was about 350. The Silver Institute and Metals Focus came up with like 190, something ridiculous. It's embarrassing, truthfully, that they're still allowed to do this, but they are. That's what they do. They work for the bad guys. They get paid by the bad guys. Both of them get paid by the bad guys. What do you expect, right? How do they get their money? Oh, we're sponsored by J.P. Morgan, Citibank. They buy our work. Oh, my God. Of course they buy your work. HSBC. Ridiculous. Anyway, so amazing year for silver imports, up 140% in a deficit, a huge deficit. This puts us even deeper into the deficit. Now, a lot of this is being used on the industrial side. But it's interesting because the retail side of silver is dead. Ask any coin dealer, it's dead. People only buy at the worst times. So when would you want to buy? You'd want to buy right now, under the moving averages. When do people buy up here? When it starts to skyrocket. Oh my God, silver's going over $30. I got to buy. The exact opposite of what you should do. Not that I recommend selling ever, because if you sell or short, at some point you'll be guaranteed. If you short, you're guaranteed unlimited losses. I think silver will go from $50 to $600 in a blink of an eye, as in a matter of a week, 2 weeks. And at that point, the banks shut down, so the COMEX has to shut down. So you got to be able to hold your metal in your own possession. Please do that. Hold your metal in your own possession only. Volumes are a little lower, but they're still, yesterday traded 47,000 contracts, which is 220 million ounces. I know, it's insane. Every single day this happens. Look at this day right here. 100,000 contracts, that's 500 million ounces in futures and options to set the price in a single day. I've seen 2 billion ounces in a single day. It's all fake. All silver trading is fake. It's just fake. So what do you do? The only thing you can do, get your physical metal in your own possession. Go to your local coin shop today. It's a good day to buy silver. Every day is a good day to buy silver. People bitch and moan, oh, I got in last year and I bought it at $35 and now it's only $30. Well, if you hang around, you're guaranteed to win. Lowest silver I bought was like $4.80. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But I'm in it for the end game. The end game is the end of the COMEX, that criminal organization, and the CFTC, another criminal organization. And we've seen it blatantly. Let's tamp down the price of silver. I remember when I was one of the leaders in saying, J.P. Morgan's rigging the market. Look at it, look at it, look at it. There was 4 or 5 of us like really calling out J.P. Morgan for rigging the market. Between 2000, I started my crusade in 1999, and everybody could see it by 2005, 6, and 7. Everybody could see it, and all of a sudden, they got their own warehouse, and everyone's going, what the hell's going on? Why is this being allowed? CFTC Commissioner Bart Chilton said, yeah, J.P. Morgan was rigging the market, but we made a political decision not to stop them. Ultimately, it was Trump that finally at least stopped that version of it. Now, who's the largest holder of silver? J.P. Morgan Chase is the custodian of SLV. If you have SLV, good night. You're going to lose your investment. It's not there. Of course it's not there. It's a piece of paper, a promissory note, a derivative. Why do you think J.P. Morgan has $50 trillion in derivatives when their asset base is only like 3 to 4 trillion? That's what Warren Buffett calls a weapon of mass financial destruction. Who will go first? I think HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, the ultimate in silver riggers for 180 years, will go first. And if you looked at who's making the deliveries in silver, meaning who's the short, it's been HSBC, the number one deliverer for the last about year and a half. And they're still the number one silver deliverer. So, yeah, Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, run by the Queen of England, or now the King of England. We don't know who's in charge anymore. Nobody knows who's in charge anywhere, especially in the United States. It's just crazy. It's crazy time. This is what Cliff calls melee. He said, get ready for melee. We're in melee. There'll be more fires. There'll be more road rage. Not road rage. I mean, terrorist attacks using vehicles. There'll be more exploding Teslas. There'll be more IEDs, improvised explosive devices. There'll be a lot of that in the United States. It's going to scare the shit out of you. There's so many sleeper cells in the United States. It is melee time. You have no choice but to get your assets in your own possession. By the way, today is, what is today? Today is the 15th. We have 5 days till a 3-day weekend. Well, it's this weekend, huh? Yeah, coming up. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Don't forget, the FDIC wants a 3-day weekend to close up the banks and try to bail out, I would say, 400 to 500 of them. It ain't going to work. But I do expect chaos around a 3-day weekend. We got one coming up. Do I think it's this one? I don't know. You shouldn't have any money in the bank anyway, just enough to pay bills. Because, poof, it will be gone. When you blink an eye and you're the last one standing, just look at the guys from Silicon Valley Bank. All the big hedge funds, Oprah had like hundreds of millions of dollars in there. And all of a sudden, poof, it was gone, and they couldn't get to it. And everybody's going, oh, my God, my deposits are uninsured because they had over $250,000 in it. It's going to be crazy. A lot of businesses can't run their business off $250,000 of deposit insurance. How do the big corporations do it? They don't get any extra special treatment from the FDIC. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have a lot of bank accounts and then have a lot of beneficiaries, if you understand the beneficiary game. For every beneficiary, you get $250,000, but you got to make sure that it's done properly. And I think it's the Federal Reserve website has a little calculator. You can go on and say, well, I got to check my FDIC insurance. So you have, if you have, so you and your spouse get $250 each, which is, you have joint account. That's $500,000. But if you add a beneficiary, it's only $250 because it goes right to, it goes, you'll still have $500. It won't add. You add another beneficiary, it won't add to it because it takes, if you have 3 beneficiaries, it does add to it. And they got a calculator for this. It goes to $750. 4 beneficiaries, $1 million. But the banks are really curtailing that now. And they go in and change it when you're not looking. I remember I had a lot of money in the bank when I was buying a house. And so I added beneficiaries. And the bank took them away. I had all the paperwork. Here's my beneficiaries. I go back 6 months later, and they're like, no, you only have 1 beneficiary. I'm like, what are you talking about? Here's your paperwork. Oh, we changed our policy. I would have been screwed had the bank shut down and the FDIC and you didn't check your beneficiaries. Check your beneficiaries if you have that kind of money. All right. Let's see here. Again, India right here, 282 million for 2024, the second largest in history. And oh, by the way, this will be the largest deficit year in history, no matter what the Silver Institute says. I mean, we're going to do 400 to 450 million in solar panels, ounces. The Silver Institute will say 220 probably, something like that. Ridiculous. Just poof. Mike DeRenzo, go away. You bother me. Go away. We're going to do 150 million ounces in automobiles, transportation type cars, trucks, all that. 150 million at least. I'm hearing it's 200 because they're adding so much more electronics to even your regular cars. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people who don't own an electric vehicle hate them. They don't hate them. They're like, it's so stupid. people who own them in the right climate. You don't want, if you live in, Canada, you probably don't want an electric vehicle because they don't have the performance. When it's cold, the battery's going to, if it's freezing, it'll only get you half the mileage. You won't be able to go 400 miles on your Tesla charge. You'll be able to go 200 miles on your Tesla charge. Not a big deal for a lot of people. I mean, if you live in a decent climate, hell yeah. And talk to electric vehicle owners. Vast majority of them say they love their electric cars. Is charging a pain in the ass? Absolutely not. It is not. It is a joy. In a Tesla, you sit there and you watch a movie. If you're on a long road trip, I think Amy's Tesla gets like 400 miles to a charge. Depending, on a flat grade, yeah, you get 400 miles. If you're going downhill, you get forever, right? But if you go up, it burns it faster. But we'll go down to see Paige and Josh in San Diego, and we'll have to stop just once, and we'll sit there and we'll go have lunch while it's charging or watch a video. And everything's getting faster and faster. The whole thing charges right back up in 30 minutes max, from 0 to max. Don't quote me on that, because we'll take longer at lunch and come back, it's all charged up. Or whatever we need for it to get charged. On the real good power. There's different voltages and all that. Amy's in charge of that. It's her car. But I love going in that car. It's a great car. In the floods, you don't want to have an electric car in a flood. You don't. Who knows? We've seen electric cars catch on fire. That's if you see an electric car on fire, get the hell out of there. There's like a whole bunch of mini bombs in there, the little battery packs that'll blow. The only way to put it out, I think all the police cars now have this big blanket that they throw over it. But who would want to even get close? Let it burn to the ground. So, there's pros and cons of everything. But talk to someone with an electric car who lives in a, halfway sunny area in the United States, and they're going to say, this is the greatest thing ever. Especially, I live in California. There's a charging station. You turn the corner, there's another charging station. So that's what I got for you as far as that. Now, I want to talk about my favorite crypto by far. And I like buying assets that are undervalued. I don't like buying assets that are overvalued. So you look at a chart like this, which asset would you buy? Look at the scenario. This goes back to 2000, once to 2013, once to 2019, because Theta hasn't been around as long as Bitcoin. But you look at since the peak and the trough, the Theta went up to like $14, $15. Is it worth that? Absolutely. Is it worth even more now? They've done so much more now. And now it's at $2.20. Look at Bitcoin. So which asset would you buy? You'd sit there and say, I wish I had Bitcoin, right? Of course you would. What about Theta? Theta went from 4 cents to $15. That's a whole different deal, right? My take, buy undervalued assets that are, in cryptos, you gotta make sure it's not bullshit. It's got to be a great project. The Theta people, that is a great project. The partnerships, that is the decentralized cloud of the future. Samsung knows it. Google knows it. Amazon knows it. Microsoft knows. They're all partnering with Theta. I'm just saying. So the latest move, the manipulation move, it turns out here's what it is. So Theta Fuel jumped in a blink of an eye from, what is that, 6.9 cents, 7 cents to 90 cents on January 11th, right? Right in there. It's just bang. It's like everyone's, whoa, what the hell's going on, right? Well, you want to see what's going on? Right here. Look what happened. A slam down. Now, this is just partially. This is obviously manipulation, but it was partially someone probably with a lot of Theta selling their Theta, swapping it for T-Fuel, kind of aftermath. This is the aftermath stuff, which puts pressure on Theta. Theta people are really jumping. They know how fast Theta and Theta Fuel can move. They try to jump back and forth to it. So that's why you saw the crash down in Theta. That was all swapping for T-Fuel. and then vice versa. Now we're back to exactly where we were before. I'm a long-term holder. I'm a long-term holder of Theta and Theta Fuel. I know what they're going to do in the future. They're doing it now, but just the world doesn't know. You want to buy undervalued assets. The Mitch Liu came out the other day and said they're really working on getting the utilization up of the booster nodes. Now, the booster nodes, there's 200 million T-fuel locked up, which is, I don't know what percentage. I think there's 6.5 million T-fuel totally that have been created so far. So utilization was down at like 55%. And this is of their units that are working, and basically you get to share in it just by running a booster node. As that utilization score goes up to 80, 90, the returns on T-fuel are going to be much, much, much higher. Right now, I think it's about 10%, depending on what kind of node you're running, 10, 11%. You know, in T-fuel staking, normally you get 7%, and if you 6 to 7, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Returning right now. What is the return? 7.4%. That's pretty good. You get 7.4% more T-fuel, but you're going to get extra stuff on the booster node. I think my take is this booster node number right here, this booster node number of 2 million, that's 215 million. I think that'll go to about 50%. I think about half of T-fuel, which is about 3 billion T-fuel, will be, as the reward ratchets up and more people use T-fuel in the AI solutions. I think that'll be the kicker for T-fuel, the T-fuel theta ratio to go 10 to 1. And right now it's 30, about 34 to 1. So, like I said, I like to buy undervalued assets and just sit on them until rational minds come in. Theta just announced a couple days ago, Theta welcomes Haiyang University as a new Edge Cloud customer. This is how they're getting the utilization up. They know who's using AI, what scientists are using AI. It's the universities. So they're going to all the universities and saying, hey, and all the universities are training their people on Theta, the Theta AI. And it's an amazing program. And all of a sudden you can get, tens of thousands of engineers, AI engineers coming out saying, oh my God, there's so much we can do with Theta. The Theta AI offering, which basically shares all the CPUs speed of the world. All the NVIDIA chips can be shared into the excess capacity, one massive CPU chip. It's crazy. But, the big guys know it, but, Theta's still not on any U.S. exchanges. You can get it. Go to Simple Swap. There's a few exchanges you can get it on. But the big guys, the Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken in the United States, is not there. It's just not there. It is the best coin on the planet, and it's still not trading on those. Why? Well, there's a lot of conspiracy theories. The deep state, as far as I can tell, the deep state is not a big Theta holder. They have been kept out. They're all over things like, I don't even want to name names, XRP. I love saying XRP. By the way, XRP is in full violation of Reggie Middleton's patent. For those of you who want to read Reggie Middleton's patent, it talks about cross-border swaps. I don't know what to tell you. He filed a patent before XRP came around. If you don't believe in patents for cryptos, that's great. If you can get away with it, if you're truly decentralized, which I wouldn't say XRP is truly decentralized. You don't have to worry about patents. I love crypto people to come to me and say, oh, Bix, patents shouldn't be in cryptocurrencies. This is a peer-to-peer stuff, and this is a... I go, well, if it's truly decentralized, you don't have to worry at all about the Reggie Middleton patents. At all. Because there's no one to go after. Like Bitcoin is purely decentralized. They can cut down and destroy the core developers, but that doesn't do anything to Bitcoin. It's still chugging along with thousands of miners still approving transactions. Anyway, yeah, I do think Reggie Middleton's, and especially if the Trump team wants to throw a little, say crypto really starts running, and the Trump team wants to throw a little hand grenade into cryptos to slow it down for a bit. Go ahead, have a judge, which they're all criminal, have a judge approve the Reggie Middleton patent and make everybody have to pay for the services in peer-to-peer transactions, peer-to-peer capital market transactions, which is all of DeFi, by the way. Hey, I've always said Veritasium is an insurance policy for your DeFi investments, all that sushi swaps and all that, and exchanges. All that is covered in Reggie's patent, by the way. Peer-to-peer capital markets. Go check it out. And you won't need much. And if it's just an insurance policy, it's like a lottery ticket. And I know the very people hate when I say that, but that's the kind of returns you would get if, for example, the U.S. government went to Reggie Middleton and said, oh my God, the banks have crashed, the system is broken, the stock exchanges aren't working, we need to do this without the brokers and dealers and criminals that ran it. Can we use your system? Can you implement a peer-to-peer trading system for capital markets in the United States and around the world? That's Cliff's data, basically. And Reggie says, sure, just give me my 98 million Veritasium tokens back, and I'll continue what I was doing before. And voila, that's how you get your lottery returns over the price of Bitcoin, according to Cliff. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Again, silver is the number one asset to hold right now. It's approaching that 100-day moving average. It'll probably bounce off it a couple times before it pierces it. I'm really excited for India about what they bought in December and what they're buying at the beginning of January right now. And this is going to all show up as of, from December 16th to now, where we've been way down here. This is all going to show up in the January numbers for silver imports. My guess, I'm going to say right in the middle of where I was, 40 million ounces, which will be a massive, massive amount of silver at this point in time. And just continuing. By the way, as far as solar panels, yeah, they're going to break all the records again next year. Again, a lot of these solar projects, they take years to develop. They're already in the pipeline. So I think we're going to beat 600 gigawatts, which means, let's say we do 700. Let's say it's only a 20% growth. That's another 100 million ounces of silver to 500 million ounces just for solar panels. Unless something breaks. Unless the price of silver all of a sudden says, hey, wait a minute. I'm being used. I'm being destroyed. I'm being misallocated into these solar panels. Which I think the price of silver will very soon. So get your physical silver. Get in your own possession. Go to your local coin shop. If you don't have a local guy, contact Andy Scheckman at Miles Franklin. info@milesfranklin.com. I heard he still has some pre-65 coinage in inventory, say from Road to Ruta, to get the best deal. Go check it out. And again, we are giving away one Very token with every private Road subscription and renewal. Go check it out, roadtoruta.com. Click on subscribe today. And these get mailed to your front door, so you don't have to know anything about cryptos. You take it, you stick it in your safe with your silver, and then you wait for the chaos. The chaos is here. We're in melee, my friends. This is Big Swear. I'll talk to you later.